Mapagpalang araw po sa ating lahat. A blessed day to everyone. Greetings from the Philippines. It is an honor to present our research paper entitled Researching Catechetical Ministry, Implementation Strategies, Challenges, and Learnings from a Mixed Method Study Amidst the COVID-19 Pandemic. On behalf of our fellow researchers, Florence, Vincent, and Ruth, we are pleased to be part of this conference. I am Clarence.
Tisha.
And Keith here.
We are from the National Catechetical Study NCS 2021 PARI project of the UST Center for Social Sciences and Education with the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Catechesis and Catholic Education. So this presentation follows this outline. And this is our research team from 2016 to 2021. This paper stems from a 5-year journey of the NCS team from 2016 to 2021. For this presentation, we share our project's use of mixed methods design and research technologies, focusing on 3 themes. 1, the research context of why mixed methods best fit in doing a national study. 2, the utilization of research technologies. And 3, the salience of mixed methods in implementing pastoral and intervention initiatives towards effective catechetical ministry. Thus, our study argues that while the COVID-19 pandemic affected the original research plan of this study, the mixed methods approach was found to have a sense of resilience in threading alternative paths in recovering data through the use of research methodologies and available online strategies. Now, let me turn the virtual floor to Tisha, who will talk about the research context of our study. Tisha?
Thank you, Clarence. So in the Philippines, the researching Catholicism has been segmented and has not taken off consistently as an established space of scientific multidisciplinary discourse. This research examines the state and dynamics of catechetical ministry in the Philippines in the 5 dimensions. These are the catechists and catechetical leaders, who are mainly formators of Catholic faith. Another dimension are the catechized, who are the recipient of catechesis, catechetical formation programs, and catechetical human resources. Methodologically, the first part of the study from 2016 to 2018 involved the catechists and catechetical leaders, where the mixed methods design include a combination of census survey, key informant interviews, and focus group discussions. For instance, the census survey reached a total of 26,978 catechists and less than 300 catechetical leaders, where the data was gathered before the pandemic. This also included more than 50 interviews and focus group discussions. On the other hand, from 2019 to 2021, 3 pastoral action researches employed mixed methods design that included surveys, interviews, archival documents, and visual data from the catechized, from the catechetical formation programs, and from catechetical human resources. Our research was guided by this empirical research data matrix summarizing the approaches, respondents, strategies, data, analytical design, data presentation, and output forms in the 5-year span of the study from 2016 to 2021. Here are some sample research tools we employed during our study, such as the interview guide, the archival history document tool, and the visual creative tool. With respect to the data gathering, we covered all 17 ecclesiastical provinces, making up 86 ecclesiastical territories in the Philippines before the pandemic. However, the pandemic restricted our access to the 10 remaining ETs due to quarantine restrictions. Before the pandemic, fieldwork activities were conducted freely with the help of our catechist research assistants or the Katekistang Kalakbay sa Pananaliksik, KKPs. With the implementation of the COVID-19 travel restrictions since March 2020, The remaining fieldwork activities and data gathering process were halted. This development resulted in using Google Forms as an alternative to gathering for our Formation Tracer study survey. Interestingly, even before the pandemic, our project utilized research technologies that allowed us space to continue our research despite physical restrictions. During the research conceptualization process, the project primarily utilizes MS Office in the preparation of proposals, research tools, and documentation. The MS Word is used in writing reports as well as preparing interview transcriptions. MS Excel for data numerization and cleaning. MS PowerPoint for the research presentations. EndNote is also used as a bibliographic reference citation tool. And even before the pandemic, our team decided to facilitate efficient data gathering through the use of smartphones. These smartphones are given to our research partners for the purpose of data gathering using a survey software program called the Cobot Toolbox and various applications for audio recording, capturing photos, taking down notes, and even communication through emails, phone calls, and text messages. This multifunctionality served well for our project, especially during the pandemic. As such, a relatively rich amount of mixed methods data were gathered using smartphones. Despite the weak internet connection in some areas in our country, these data were uploaded through the internet, through G drives and other application programs. While some areas failed to use the internet, our research partners couriered the smartphones back to us with the encoded data, which facilitated our data analysis smoothly. Our quantitative data analysis, we utilized the IBM SPSS. This provided data on catechetical ministry practices. And qualitatively, we utilized the MaxQDA to analyze our interviews, archival documents, and visual data. During the pandemic, the accessibility of the MaxQDA team sharing features proved to be really helpful in analyzing the data among the NCS 2021 PARI project team members. Accordingly, the mixed methods data analysis provides sound basis in the formulation and implementation of the research-based intervention outcomes aimed at improving the delivery and pedagogy of catechesis in the Philippine Catholic Church. Now, let me turn the virtual floor to Keith, who will discuss further about the pastoral intervention initiatives of our research relative to mixed methods design. Keith?
Thank you, Tisha. As an action research, this study utilized the various data in developing research-based intervention activities. Each intervention is specifically formulated as a response to the findings of the research on the salient dimensions of catechetical ministry. Our research affirms the use of mixed methods design and various research technologies contributed in developing a sense of resilience in the study in terms of how we proceeded to handling our field data, as well as how we were able to engage various catechetical ministry stakeholders for our research-based intervention outcomes we call RIO. Taking into serious consideration the shift of online-based work arrangements due to COVID-19 pandemic, RIO focuses on four approaches, namely technology sharing presentations, formation, publication, and human resources. Our mixed methods data was especially helpful and insightful in documenting the shift in the delivery of catechetical formation programs in the country. As a concrete example, the usual face-to-face seminar was turned into online-based activities such as this webinar called Kwentong Katekista, which translates to Storytelling with Catechist. This ran for 10 months of sharing research findings, insights, and relative solutions to the catechetical issues and concerns. In addition, to keep our research relationship with our respondents, we introduced monthly e-news to the catechetical ministry using MailChimp. In so doing, we were able to share about the progress of our project and continue the process of data validation. Another aspect when our mixed methods data seemed to matter was when they were used for the development of the catechetical formation modules, such as in Bible catechesis, in digital catechesis for children and youth, in family catechesis, and even in the development of creative catechetical resources. Our mixed methods approach to combining both archival Interview and visual data also proved to be worthy in gaining deeper insights about catechetical human resources. During the pandemic, the situation allowed us to easily convene a series of online consultations and meetings with catechists. We observed that our Facebook and Zoom-based online meetings were relatively efficient and cheaper. In a sense, our collaboration with our research partners was fruitful, leading to publications. Even with the almost 2 years of lockdown, our persistent online communication amongst the researchers and the research resulted in the writing of the following research reports: case reports and proceedings, research poems in 11 languages, catechetical modules, catechesis to St. Joseph, and in the next few months, we will produce a teaching guide for catechists entitled Katekistang Malikhain, or Creative Catechesis, and Catechesis for Adults, and a research monograph on our findings and insights. To continue our online engagements with our research partners, we also plan to release several e-publications on catechetical local histories and narratives of catechetical experiences. As we conclude, let me now turn the virtual floor again to Clarence for our insights.
Thank you, Keith. In this presentation, we examined our research experience relative to the use of mixed methods design and argue that the pandemic allowed us to observe a sense of resilience that this approach accorded us. Indeed, the utilization of mixed methods design allowed for a more flexible and adaptable research process for our national study amidst this pandemic. As narrated here in this presentation, our various use of technologies and online meetings with stakeholders during the pandemic were very helpful as we adjust our original research plan into online and hybrid mode of research. The use of various research technologies in each stage of the research, especially during the pandemic, allowed an accessible shared online data management, analysis, and validation between the researchers and the researched. In conclusion, let me end with a quote from one of our earlier reports during the start of the pandemic. We call it the Catechetical Pandemic Challenge, which in a way summarizes what our presentation intends to achieve. And I quote, "The NCS 2021 PARI project faces the Catechetical Pandemic Challenge with utmost resolve. The implementing activities will continue to focus on assisting Filipino catechists and catechetical leaders in doing effective catechesis amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. That is, while this health crisis impacted lives across the world, the mission of catechesis remains salient in the lives of Catholics in the Philippines and around the globe." Unquote. With that, thank you very, very much. And as we say in Filipino, maraming salamat po. God bless us all.